there has been, everyone's talking about the fact that, right now we have a really serious problem with everything regarding pricing. We could talk about oil pricing. We could talk about food, all the basic necessities everyone's talking about. We are in a massive inflation crisis right now. This administration is doing absolutely nothing. But one thing that isn't really getting enough attention from a news perspective that I think really needs to be is the fact that we have a massive travel catastrophe that is happening in this country right now. And that, of course, lends to the issue of having somebody like Pete Buttigieg in charge of the Department of Transportation. Somebody with zero experience who is simply being put there because we know that he's going to run for president again. It's just a question of when. But you're failing this country in such a profound kind of way. And so when that happens, I get very upset because we really do need a much, we need a much better person in this position. And so when you have somebody in this case, like Bernie, who's finally coming out and saying to Buttigieg, you got to do something about this. You absolutely have to step up. And so in this case, Bernie's urging the transportation secretary to require airlines to refund passengers whose flights are delayed and cover their meals and lodging when needed. So here's first question right off the bat. Why would Bernie Sanders need to be telling the head of the Department of Transportation how to do his job?
Okay, well, can I just ask, is there anyone that ever believed that Pete Buttigieg was an appropriate, good appointment? Is there anyone that thought he'd be good at this or thought he was qualified for this? Is there anyone that really thought he was there for any other reason other than why he really is there?
Hey, listen, I've had, when I spoke with that lady that I told you about the other day who worked on the Hill for 5 years, when I had to explain to her what a horrifically bad mayor this guy was in South Bend, it's like, do not compute. No, he's part of the club. He's one of the good guys. And it's like, no, he's not. He's a Manchurian candidate.
And did we tell you he's gay? He's gay. We're so woke.
Yeah, we're so happy. So Senator Bernie Sanders and the Liberals calling on Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to protect passengers facing a deluge of problems at airports nationwide as airlines struggle to meet demand. How are airlines struggling to meet demand? Why is this a problem? Because what you're discovering here, ladies and gentlemen, is that any of those so-called benefits that supposedly were going to be helping the airline industry and all of those people that were in it, who do you think actually benefited from it? It sure as hell wasn't the employees. It's the shareholders that get the brunt of it. And so now, because of what's happened over the past couple of years, there looks like there's going to be some massive strikes coming with a lot of these airline employees. And I don't blame them. But this has already been an ongoing problem for a while. Apparently, there was massive problems going back to Memorial Day weekend, and they're still dealing with it. And now, with 4th of July upon us this weekend, it's only getting worse. As far as I'm concerned, this is a direct repudiation, not just on Buttigieg, but on the Biden administration for putting him in this position in the first place. How in the hell do you let this happen? Listen, let him get some experience, okay, whatever. But this guy's been at this job now for over a year and a half. He does not belong there. He is hurting this economy in such a way. He's unbelievably in over his head, just like Kamala is as the vice president. But this is what happens when the corporatocracy knows that they're dying and they have no way of preventing the inevitable because they can't polish a turd good enough to sell it to the American people like they used to.
But don't you think this is pretty typical? I mean, we're consistently given cabinet appointments that are just tokenism and really are not necessarily the most qualified people and are just there for whatever reason they're there. I mean, let's not forget W with good job, Brownie, as people were drowning off of their roofs after Katrina.
Yeah, well, there's it. very often, I just think that they do this because they know that the American people are not going to do anything about it. They're not going to stand up. They're not going to fight back. But, even now, even in this moment with Roe v. Wade being overturned and, with the inflation just completely on a runaway path that's potentially even worse than what happened in the Carter administration, this is bad. And so, as is pointed out, during the pandemic, when air travel came to a near halt, U.S. taxpayers came to the rescue and gave $54 billion to the airline industry. Okay, well, if you want me to just say what happened, the top 8 airlines alone received nearly $50 billion in taxpayer assistance from the federal government. Given all the generous taxpayer support that has been provided to the airline industry, all of us have a responsibility to make sure that passengers and crew members are treated with respect, not contempt.
I'd like to point out that there's the DeSantis ad sitting there on the screen, like we're almost advertising for him for fundraising.
Make America great again, man. Bernie Sanders would make a better Department of Transportation secretary than Mr. Buttigieg. Maybe he could judge a booty contest. Maybe that was what he was meant to do. I don't know. But I know that he does not belong in this position. And let's see if
Crandon would make a better transportation secretary than Pete Buttigieg. You're not giving a lot of credit to Bernie.
You got Fetterman coming after him. You can't even do this without even getting a response from Buttigieg. He doesn't even respond to calls from NBC News to give his take.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.